Let's wait for 2 minutes. Are we all in? Aarti, Surya, Pragati, Trina. So Shraddha is missing. All right, let's go ahead. All right. Good evening, class. I hope I'm audible and I have shared my screen. I hope I'm visible. Like my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so just before we begin our class, today's class, just a quick overview of, did you get go through the assignments? Did you get time to go through the assignments?
I did one, ma'am.
One. Okay, I don't.
I also did one, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. I don't want you to overstress yourself. You know, it should work like a marathon. It's like, it's not that one day you work out for 10 hours and then the other day you can't. So I want it to be a gradual process so that it gets into the system, gets into the habit. So one per day is more than enough if you're doing it correctly. So I would suggest one, you're doing the assignment that I have given, another, at least you take up any of the article from the paper, or I told you the New York Times, etc., Hindu. So any of those at least also you read while traveling and all. So what happens, at least if 2 paragraphs you're skimming, your brain is accustomed to the system, it will help you in the long run. Okay, what about you, Trinath? Did you get time to do it?
Ma'am, I completed one and I have started a second one. It's almost completed.
Perfect. I don't overstress yourself. All right. So today, leaving behind our reading class, today's class is completely based on listening module of ours. So before I go in, we have to again take up a few questions. We have to listen to some audio. Some tips I should be sharing with you. So before going in for that, let us understand how this test, actually this section of the test works. So this section of the test pattern will be like, it will be around 40 minutes, complete exam. And amongst those, the recording will be played for 30 minutes. So in the 40 minutes, you have the recording played for 30 minutes. So you have a 10-minute bracket. What do you do in the 10-minute? We'll get to see that. So in this section, you'll be having 4 parts to it. Part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. What are those? 4 recordings will be played to you. The first recording will be a conversation, like we are talking to each other. That's a conversation between 2 people. So 2 people converse with each other. That can be, inquiring about a book in the library. It can be filling up a form. It can be, some lost and found case report that is being played. So anything, but the format will be a form has to be filled up. All right, you'll be given, I'll show you. Let me just finish this. I'll show you how a form looks like, how the question will look like to you. So there will be some sentences with the fill in the blanks. So you're supposed to hear the recording and jot down the answers along with it. So first part is that form part. Next part is a speech or a talk by a person. This is also a social issue kind of a thing. Anything that's related to the social part. Maybe he's talking about a monument, he's talking about a historical place, he's being describing maybe a tourist guide who is, to the other tourist, he's explaining the heritage of that place, etc. So that conversation, only one person will be speaking here, and you are supposed to jot it down there. In addition to it, you have 4, at most 4 people conversing in a group. That can be, again, it can be an education context, it can be an academic context, anything related to academics. And the 4th one is again a talk again by one person. It can be filling up of a map, of a chart, of a diagram, locating that point in the diagram. You know, it might be a park that they're talking about, or adventure park. So where is what? You have to point it out and check it out. Okay, so this is how it works. Just a second, Shraddha has messaged. Has Shraddha joined? Okay, you're already there. All right. Okay, so that's about the full part of the entire listening section. Now, I was talking about the 10 minutes that you'll be having at hand, 30 minutes of the recording. Amongst the 40 minutes, what do you do in the 10 minutes bracket? You do nothing. Like, I'll teach you this section, I'll teach you how to hear an audio and immediately take some notes accordingly, how to take down the answers. I'll teach those tricks. So whatever is the note that you have jotted down in your question paper, you do this rough work on your question paper. So whatever is it that you have jotted down on your question paper, you're supposed to transfer those answers to your actual answer sheet. I'll show you how an actual real IELTS answer sheet look like for the listening section. So this is how the entire exam will be. So today we'll mostly stress on, we'll listen to a few of the audios and we'll mostly stress on how to gauge, how to make, what are the traps that have been laid down for us and how to avoid those traps. There are some traps that the test takers know that this is the trap that the you as a, you know, you'll be falling for. So that's why they make this trap, and our job is to train you how to avoid those traps. Okay, just a second. I'll show you how exactly an answer sheet looks like. Just a second. Yeah, so this is how your listening answer sheet will be looking like. So you can see you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 40 questions here, and accordingly you will, whatever you have jotted down on your question paper while listening to the audio, while taking notes, you're going to transfer all that into your answer sheet. Mostly you write like, you know, with a pencil, and I suggest my students that please write in caps. Why? Because it is being like the instructions that will come across, they'll state to you definitely that either whatever is the style of writing you're following, try and follow that all through, you know, keep like that should be followed all through. So how do you maintain that? If you're using a lowercase, you can use a lowercase also or the uppercase also. But what is the problem with the lowercase is the names, the you know, the places you have to capitalize the first letter. So that you have to keep in mind while you're jotting it down so very fast during the exam. However, if you're writing in caps, that has to be all caps. The first letter, in between letters, the last letter, whatever it is, it has to be completely in caps. So that's a positive thing, because during the test time you are anxious, you are nervous, so it's like, you know, there is a chance if you're writing the lowercase, maybe the name that you were writing, you miss that, you miss to capitalize the first word, and then you get penalized for that. So we don't want that to be happening. So what I suggest to all my students is, please don't go in for that lowercase thing, follow the uppercase method. So you are supposed to follow the uppercase method, and with pencil. There's no chance of a pen. With pencil, if it's a computer operated test, that's a separate issue altogether. All right. So this is how your entire section will look like. All right, just a second. So that's about your. Now let us move on to audio. So we'll listen to the first audio and I'll tell you how you should be starting to make notes. Yeah. Is this visible, clear to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So whichever is the first audio that we'll be listening, we are going to fill up the answers in this. So you can see this is like kind of a form. It is a self-drive tours in USA. So it will be a form to be filled up by either the person who's visiting a USA or the tour guides there is going to fill this up. Whatever is the case, we'll get to know in the audio. But this is how the first part of all your listening tests will look like. It will be a form like this, and you're supposed to listen to the audio and start filling it. All right. So we'll start listening to the audio, pay very good attention to it, concentrate. Also, another thing I would like to tell you, like before we go to the main exam, before you appear for the IELTS actual exam, what are we going to do is that we're going to do a lot of practice. I'll send you some of the listening audios also, you can do at home. I'll send you some links also where you can give some mocks, etc. on the listening section. So you come across and you see that the first part of the audio is always the instruction module, and that is almost the same, repetitive. You know, once you're done with 10 to 20 exams, mocks, or practice exam, excuse me, so that thing you get used to what they're trying to say. So what I suggest my students is, once that introductory audio starts, your job is to skim, again that skim word, skim through whatever are the questions here. So I can see before the audio starts, that main audio starts, I know I have to pay attention to the address. Some road will be there. To the postcode that's given, I don't have to pay attention. Mobile number is given. How about the company from? So some place, some website, some person I'll be getting here. Possible self-drive tours, some trip directions. So something about Los Angeles, I'll get to hear here for the a blank 4, something about the Yosemite Park. And so I should be skimming through all the questions very quickly. You can't keep in mind everything, but you can just have a note on that. More so what I can do is I can underline few things. So address, road, mark that road. So wherever that road comes in the audio, I'll be alert. Yes, road. Then I've heard about the company. So from somewhere it is being heard. Los Angeles, customers wants to visit some parks with her children. So some name of the parks will be there. I know that. Yosemite Park, customer wants to stay in a lodge, not a dash. So not lodge, maybe not a hotel, not a resort, anything like that might come up. So this is what I should be doing when the introductory audio is going, please keep in mind, I'm not telling you that when the audio starts, you're supposed to do this. No, when the audio starts, you take a deep breath and then just listen and work on it. But when am I doing this? When my audio has still not started or the introductory audio is going on. During that phase, I have at least 1 minute time at hand. I can just jot, I can just underline this, and customer wants to see on the way to Cambria. So whatever is being told in the audio, whatever is being discussed in the audio, I can just mark way to Cambria. Okay, I'll get the answer immediately. Am I making sense? Is this getting clear to you? Once we hear an audio, you'll understand. Before the audio start, a lot of instructions are given. That's not lot, meaning a 1 minute instruction. I don't want to spend my brain into those instructions. Rather, what I do is I work here. I work with my questions. So I get some time there. So let me utilize that. All right. Now let's just start listening to the audio.
Cambridge English, IELTS 10, published by Cambridge University Press and Cambridge English Language Assessment.
Are you able to hear this? Whatever is going on?
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Loud and clear, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
115. This recording is copyright. CD 1. Test 1. You will hear a number of different recordings and you will have to answer questions on what you hear.
So this is...
There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be...
So this is what I was saying. I don't want my brain to invest into this introductory part. That, this will be there, section 1, this will be this. I don't want to invest myself because by then I have an experience of, at least 10 to 20 exams, listening sections that I have covered. So I already know the instructions there. So steer clear, do not keep your brain there. Rather, bring your brain to concentrate on these questions. Mark out what are the pointers. We have learned how to do the skimming, right, in the reading section. This is going to help you here also. Mark the important verbs and the important name. Cambria, stay. Mark that. On the Los Angeles, on the way, park. Mark that. So whenever the audio is going, okay, one more thing, word to word, you will not get the answer. We have learned about paraphrasing. So there might be something that is the other version. Maybe built is the other version of construction or constructed or made. So or developed. So these are the synonyms. So these are paraphrasing. So, in the question, it might be who built this, but in the recording, it will be some Leonardo had constructed this monument. So it is like the paraphrasing. So you should be immediately, your brain should sense you that yes, constructed, built, that works. Bring it here, right? So please concentrate. I'll just move the audio a little back so that you understand how long you get to scan through the question paper. All right.
Test 1. You will hear a number of different recordings and you will have to answer questions on what you hear.
A notepad
there
or
will
something.
Be time.
Everybody should be having a notepad. I had instructed yesterday also. Please carry a notepad or something.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, everybody. All the 5 of you should be carrying a notepad because I'll not be stopping you while each one of you should be trying the answers. Then I'll tell you what went wrong. If it's right, then very good. What we could do better, how we could do better. All right. So everybody is ready with a notepad, pen, pencil.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All of you. All right.
Time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. Now turn to Section 1. Section 1. You will hear a telephone conversation between a travel agent and a customer. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6. You will see that there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
Good morning, World Tours. My name is Jamie. How can I help you?
Good morning. I want some information on self-drive tours in the USA. Could you send me a brochure?
Of course. Could I have your name, please?
Andrea Brown.
The customer's name is Andrea Brown, so Brown has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 6.
Good morning, World Tours. My name is Jamie. How can I help you?
Good morning. I want some information on self-drive tours in the USA. Could you send me a brochure?
Of course. Could I have your name, please?
Andrea Brown.
Thank you. And your address?
24 Ardley Road.
Can you spell that?
Ardleigh Road.
Postcode?
BH5 2OP.
Thanks. And can I have your phone number?
Is a mobile all right?
Fine.
It's 07786 643 091.
Thank you. And can I ask you where you heard about World Tours? From a friend, or did you see an advert somewhere?
No, I read about you in the newspaper.
OK, I'll get the brochures in the post to you, but can I give you some information over the phone? What kinds of things do you want to do on your holiday?
I'm interested in going to California with my family. I've got 2 children, and we want to hire a car.
OK, we have a couple of self-drive tours there, visiting different places of interest in California. The first one begins in Los Angeles, and there's plenty of time to visit some of the theme parks there.
That's something on my children's list, so I'd want to include that.
Good. Then you drive to San Francisco. From San Francisco, you can drive to Yosemite Park, where you spend a couple of nights. You can choose to stay in a lodge or on the campsite.
I don't like the idea of staying in a tent. It'd be too hot.
Right. And the tour ends in Las Vegas.
OK.
The other trip we can arrange is slightly different. It starts in San Francisco, then you drive south to Cambria.
Someone told me there's a really nice castle near Cambria. Will we go near that?
Hearst Castle is on that road, so you could stop there.
Good. I'd like to do that. Does this trip also go into the desert?
No, it continues to Santa Monica, where most people like to stop and do some shopping.
We have enough of that at home, so that doesn't interest us.
OK. Well, you could go straight on to San Diego.
That's good for beaches, isn't it?
That's right. That's a good place to relax, and your children might like to visit the zoo before flying home.
I don't think so. We want some time for sunbathing and swimming.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 7 to 10.
All right. So let us just 1 second. before we move on to 7 to 10. Quickly, let us get to the answers. Trinath, what is the first answer that you have?
Address.
Yeah.
Ardleigh. Ardleigh.
Ardleigh. Is that same for all?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Anybody
Yes,
with
ma'am.
different answer? Okay, very good. Okay, next, Pragati, how about answer 2?
Ma'am, company from?
See, well, first, second, do not ask me which one. This is blank number 1.
Okay, ma'am.
This is, see, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, and this is 6. Okay, so that number you have actually represents the blank you're supposed to fill.
Okay, ma'am. Second one is newspaper.
Very good. So this is new. So again, everybody is writing in caps, I suppose. So all right, fine. Okay, Aarti Lasure.
Yes, ma'am. Third one is theme park.
Is that same for all?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. All right, so not very many yes ma'am I got, only one yes ma'am I came. Who didn't get this right? Number 3. Anybody who didn't get this right? Please be honest so that, we can check on what we are doing wrong. I should be knowing that, where you're going wrong. Everybody answer 3. Everybody got theme?
No, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Ma'am. Yes, that's what I want. Don't feel that no, ma'am, don't say that. It's perfectly all right. If you're doing all right here and then doing wrong here, that is what you should be, like feeling sad about. Okay, so Trinath, what was your answer here?
I have written it as amusement park.
Amusement, okay. Who else? Shraddha?
Ma'am, I got it.
Okay, then Aarti, did you get it wrong? Anhare?
Ma'am, I haven't wrote anything. I didn't got.
You missed it. Okay, you didn't get it, right?
Yes, ma'am, I missed
Okay,
it. Yes, ma'am.
very good. I'll tell you how to go about it again. All right, blank 4, Aarti Nahare.
Ma'am, it is not in a tent.
Very good. So not, I think, is given. So not.
In a tent.
Not a. So it's already given not a. So I should
Tent.
only write tent. Did everybody write only tent? Not in a tent. I am not bothered because not is given, is given. So only tent. Everybody going right on this?
Yes, ma'am. I got it.
I have wrote campsite.
You had wrote what?
Campsite.
Campsite. Very good. Okay, we'll come to that. There was a mention of campsite, so you were not wrong, but I'll tell you. Okay. Okay, next, blank 5. Who's left? Shraddha?
Ma'am, deserts.
Desert. Everybody got this desert?
No, ma'am. I got castle.
Yes, ma'am, castle.
Castle. I also got castle.
Okay. Trinath?
Castle.
Okay. We'll come to this. And then the last but not the least, number 6.
Ma'am, beaches.
Beaches. Yes, ma'am, beaches.
Anybody other than the beaches? Any other answer?
Sunbathing and swimming in beaches.
Sunbathing. All right, let us replay the video.
Have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. Now turn to section 1.
Okay, before moving there, few things that I would like to mention since you've already done one, that is, did you see how they spoke about the number? Anything different that you found while they were mentioning the number? Anybody?
O zero.
Zero as O.
Yes. 0 is O. It can be sometimes not. Okay. So not 8, 8, 1. So this can go like this also. So this is a pointer. Please jot it down somewhere in your notepad that the numbers might be like this. 077 was here, but in some cases it might be, 8664 3091. So this 30, it's written right now in front of you. That's very easy, but normally because of their accent, what happens, this 30 and this gets mixed up. Okay, so how to not fall into that trap? What to do is keep like once you hear the numbers, you should be first concentrate, and then can anybody tell me what will be the difference in their pronunciation in the two? Any difference in between these two pronunciations?
Ma'am, in the ending, we'll hear some sound like an N in case of 13.
All right. That will not much be clear to you because the audio, you can see their accent and all. It's very difficult in that case. What will be clear is how long is that being spelled. As in, if I say 30, I say 30. If I'm saying 13, I'm taking some time because of that double EN, 13. So even if my N is not very much sound, what will be is the time I take to pronounce the two words, 30, 30, 30, 13. So that T, there's some time is going because of that double E. However, in case of 30, I don't have that, and I'm finishing that word very quickly. Is this clear? So because in many of the blanks, you ought to write down the numbers. In this case, it was an easy one. You didn't have to write the number. But in many of the cases, you are supposed to write the number. So this should be clear. All right, next is, let us listen to the audio. But everybody, while the audio was going on, did you take the notes? Did you were you writing while it was the audio was being played?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So
Yes,
what were you writing like suppose once they had already told about this newspaper, if you paid good attention, after the mention of the newspaper, there were a good number of 2 to 3 lines which were not included in your, or whatever is the question here. The questioner didn't include that. that was a sort of discussion that, I'll be going it. Then this person says, okay, before you want to book, I would like to mention something about this self-drive tours and all. Remember, there was a part of that. So 2 to 3 lines were there in which nothing of those were included. So those lines also, you should be paying attention. As in, am I missing something? Although you have already marked it here, you know where to stop, where to pick up the answer from, but still do not miss that, okay, it's not there. No, keep your ears open that, okay, Los Angeles visit park, anything about that. If it's not there, keep patience, it's going to come. But if it's there, you shouldn't be missing on that. Second thing, okay, that's the second thing. Third thing, like somebody had missed this gap, third blank, but she is able to fill the fourth, fifth, sixth perfectly. Why? Because once she missed this gap, she didn't brood about that. She didn't actually, waste time thinking, oh, damn, I missed it. Now what do I do? How to get back there? No. You should be telling yourself, anyway, out of the 40 questions, even if you're getting this 38 mark, you get the highest band. Okay, so that 2 is again redundant, that 2 answers are redundant. So even if you're getting 1 blank, you miss 1 blank, do not, pressurize yourself, damn, I missed 1. It's okay. It is okay to get 1 wrong. It is okay to get miss 1 blank. What is not okay is letting the other parts suffer because of this. So whoever was the one who missed the third blank, she kept her cool and moved ahead with the other blanks, and she got it perfectly right. Okay, so that should be our objective. If I've missed something, let it be, move on to the other blanks. All right. Okay, let's start once more.
Section 1. You will hear a telephone conversation between a travel agent and a customer. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6.
Self-drive tours in the USA. Could you send me a brochure?
You will see that there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
Good morning, World Tours. My name is Jamie. How can I help you?
Good morning. I want some information on self-drive tours in the USA. Could you send me a brochure?
Of course. Could I have your name, please?
Andrea Brown.
The customer's name is Andrea Brown, so Brown has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 6.
Good morning, World Tours. My name is Jamie. How can I help you?
Good morning. I want some information on self-drive tours in the USA. Could you send me a brochure?
Of course. Could I have your name, please?
Andrea Brown.
Thank you. And your address?
24 Ardley Road.
Can you spell that?
ARDLEIGH Road.
Postcode?
BH5 2OP.
Thanks. And can I have your phone number?
Is a mobile all right?
Fine.
It's 07786 643 091.
Thank you. And can I ask you where you heard about World Tours? From a friend, or did you see an advert somewhere?
No, I read about you in the newspaper.
OK, I'll get the brochures in the post to you, but can I give you some information over the phone? What kinds of things do you want to do on your holiday?
I'm interested in going to California with my family. I've got 2 children, and we want to hire a car.
Okay. We have a couple of self-drive tours there, visiting different places of interest in California. The first one begins in Los Angeles, and there's plenty of time to visit some of the theme parks there.
That's something on my children's list, so I'd want to include that.
Good. Then you drive to San Francisco. From San Francisco, you can drive to Yosemite Park, where you spend a couple of nights. You can choose to stay in a lodge or on the campsite.
I don't like the idea of staying in a tent. It'd be too hot.
Right. And the tour...
Okay, so do you see how I'm taking the notes? I don't have much time to write the entire newspaper, Los Angeles, Yosemite Park. You as you are writing and you're only going to transfer the answers. So the objective should be make, abbreviations of your wish. See, I don't NWPP. That's enough for me to understand I'm talking about newspaper. Maybe for Aarti, that will be different. For Aarti Dasure, it might be she is not used to NW. What she does is she does NWSP. So she understands that's newspapers. Everybody has a different set of writing it short, but then write short. Do not waste time. This is the method of note taking. You cannot invest your time in writing newspaper because that is going to cost you. You're going to miss something. So better is short. Anything short is going to, because immediately within another few minutes, you're going to transfer the answers. So this is good enough. All right. Next is LA, Los Angeles. I know I have marked it. So I'm aware right now that Los Angeles, and then what I get out here is directly theme. Now, Trinad, because that time maybe I had missed, I did not find any place where there was a mention of amusement park, right? So that was a way you had paraphrased it, but then it is okay. That is my mistake. I had spoke about paraphrasing. So you can only paraphrase, if it is exactly the question and the answer is not matching, only then you get to paraphrase. Otherwise, you're not supposed to paraphrase. If it's there a theme, I would like the theme only. But then if it's like a Disney theme, and then the question tells you to answer in only one word. I didn't see that. Yes, one word. So Disney theme, I cannot write that time. So then I might have shifted to amusement. Got my point? So I will not paraphrase till and then I do not require any extra information. I'll only be paraphrasing when I am seeing that the question and the answers are not balancing each other. To balance out, I would say that, okay, construction is equivalent to build. Getting my point? Or business theme is equal to fun or amusement. Right? So please, everybody should keep a note on this. Paraphrasing only plays a role when I'm not able to balance out my question and the answer set. If I am able to balance out the question and the answer set, in that case, I am not supposed to paraphrase. I should be, if I'm getting a direct answer to the question, I would use the direct answer to the question rather than paraphrasing it. Making sense?
No.
Yeah, okay. So that is about theme. Now let us move on. See, then they moved on to San Francisco. So I wrote SF YP because I know YP is something I'm interested in. So
Ends in Las Vegas.
Okay.
The other trip we can arrange is slightly different. It starts in San Francisco, then you drive south to Cambria.
Someone told me there's a really nice castle near Cambria. Will we go near that?
Hearst Castle is on that road, so you could stop there.
Good. I'd like to do that. Does this trip also go into the desert?
No, it continues to Santa Monica, where most people like to stop and do some shopping.
We have enough of that at home, so that doesn't interest us.
Okay. Well, you could go straight on to San Diego.
That's good for beaches, isn't it?
That's right. That's a good place to relax, and your children might like to visit the zoo before flying home.
I don't think so. We want some time for sunbathing and swimming.
All right.
Before you
guess
hear the
quite
rest of the
few
conversation, you have
have-
some time to look at questions 7 to 10.
Now I get why few of you had written we spend some time in sunbathing and swimming because wants to spend some time. Okay, no, it doesn't work because spend some time on the. You cannot write wants to spend some time on the sunbathing and swimming. If it was wants to spend some time dash, then you could have gone for wants to spend some time sunbathing and swimming. But it is wants to spend some time on the. So on the only the beaches work. And see, I have written beaches. All of you have already also have written beaches, but nobody should be writing only beach. That's not going to help. Why? Because in fill in the blanks, singular or plural, whatever it is being stated is very, very important. That means a small s or es is also equally important. Making a wrong where you're going to miss the answer. All right. Okay. Now, again, desert. Whoever wrote desert, I want to come back to the audio for that.
Okay, we have a couple of self-drive tours there visiting different places of interest in California. The first one begins in Los Angeles, and there's plenty of time to visit some of the theme parks there.
That's something on my children's list, so I'd want to include that.
Good. Then you drive to San Francisco. From San Francisco, you can drive to Yosemite Park, where you spend a couple of nights. You can choose to stay in a lodge or on the campsite.
Whoever chose the campsite, you can choose to stay in the lodge or on the campsite. So you didn't do a mistake. There was a campsite, but that was a trap. Why? This is how the conversation works. This is why a single person speaking is much better than 2 or 4 people speaking, because that person told lodge or campsite. Then this lady comes up and says, yeah, I just want to avoid the tent.
I don't like the idea of staying in a tent. It'd be too hot.
Does that make sense? So she's not saying, she's not mentioning, I don't like the idea of a campsite. She says, I don't like the idea of staying in a tent. So that is what I will do. I'll not change the version that the speaker is making, because the person who offered them had told lodge or campsite. So whoever has written campsite, thinking campsite and tent is going hand in hand, is actually not wrong in understanding, but then this is the trap. So steer clear of this, because the speaker one, the tour guide, was actually telling the lodge or the campsite, but the speaker who's actually going to stay, she's saying that the customer wants. It is not what is being offered. Customers wants to stay in a lodge, not a tent. So not a campsite is not going to work, because we are talking about what the customer is wanting. Clear? So whoever wrote this campsite, your understanding is not wrong. What was wrong was you fell for the trap. Clear? All right. Next is again the desert part. That is also one kind of trap.
Right. And the tour ends in Las Vegas.
Okay.
The other trip we can arrange is slightly different. It starts in San Francisco, then you drive south to Cambria.
Someone told me there's a really nice castle near Cambria. Will we go near that?
Hearst Castle is on that road, so you could stop there.
Good. I'd like to do that. Does this trip also go into the desert?
No, it continues to
is
Santa
where the
Monica,
desert
where
is
most people
coming.
like to stop and do some shopping.
And the tour guide says, no, there's no desert. So the customer wanted to go for the desert, but the tour guide had denied that there will be no desert. Rather, you'll be moving on to San Diego, and there you will have those beaches and all. So did you get this? This is the kind of trap which is going to, there will be 2 or 3 options coming up. He says, yeah, you can go for this. She says, okay, fine. Then she changes her mind. Oh no, I don't want that. Right? So this is what I need. There will be some yeses, some no's, but then I have to zoom on to the right answer. Clear? Any doubts on this?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so we can move on to the next set of questions. So before moving on to the next set of questions, I must check the questions by then. Yeah, so that's your questions 7 to 10. So what is the instruction? 1 word or a number. And I have trip 1, trip 2, so I'll be answering the distances. In 1 trip 2, I'll be answering the price and what those include. Something 8 is included and something 10 is included. I'll check for those answers. See, I've zoomed in whatever I need. I've marked that. Let us now start the audio. Everybody ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, so I'm playing the audio.
We have enough of that at home, so that doesn't interest us.
Okay. Well, you could go straight on to San Diego.
That's good for beaches, isn't it?
That's right. That's a good place to relax, and your children might like to visit the zoo before flying home.
I don't think so. We want some time for sunbathing and swimming.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 7 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 7 to 10.
So, how many days are the trips and how much do they cost?
The first one I told you about is a self-drive tour through California, which lasts 12 days and covers 2,020 kilometers. The shortest journey is 206 kilometers, and the longest is 632 kilometers. The cost is £525 per person. That includes accommodation, car rental, and a flight, but no meals.
OK. And the other trip?
That lasts 9 days, but you spend only 3 days on the road. You cover about 980 kilometers altogether.
So is that cheaper then?
Yes, it's almost £100 cheaper. It's £429 per person, which is a good deal.
So that covers accommodation and car hire. What about flights?
They aren't included, but these hotels offer dinner in the price.
OK. Well, thank you very much. I'll be in touch when I've had a chance to look at the brochure.
I'm pleased to help. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Okay, so yeah, so now that you have already done this was pretty easy. Yes, again, Pragati, blank 1, blank 7 rather.
Ma'am, 2020 kilometers.
Very good. Everybody, same
Ma'am.
answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody different? Srinath, you were saying something or it's perfect?
Yeah, it's 2020. ma'am.
Okay, perfect. How about this one, blank 8?
Flight.
Very
Flight,
good.
ma'am.
So, okay, I should be writing in caps, sorry. Okay, everybody got this right?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. How about this plank, plank 9?
439.
429.
Yes,
Four-
ma'am. 429.
429.
Srinath, this was 429?
I have written 439.
Okay, we'll come to that. And this one, pretty easy.
Dinner.
Dinner.
Yeah, very good. So let us see for the blank 9.
The shortest journey is 206 kilometers and the longest is 632 kilometers. The cost is £525 per person. That includes accommodation, car rental and a flight, but no meals.
OK. And the other trip?
That lasts 9 days, but you spend only 3 days on the road. You cover about 980 kilometers altogether.
So is that cheaper then?
Yes, it's almost £100 cheaper. It's £429 per person, which is a good deal.
So that covers accommodation and car hire. What about flights?
They aren't included, but these hotels offer dinner in the price.
OK. Well, thank you very much. I'll be in touch when I've had a chance to look at the brochure.
I'm pleased to help. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Srinath, was that 429 or 439?
That is the end of
429.
section 1.
Yeah, so
You now have
section,
half a
little more
minute to check your
concentration is
answers.
required. Okay, so can we move on to the next section?
Ma'am, I have one doubt.
Yeah.
Ma'am, in the 9th question, they give the symbol of euro and they said the pound. So is it true or I made mistake?
Euro, that is not the sign of euro actually. This is the sign of pound only. Euro is something like this.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So let us move on to the next. That's your next set of questions. And please go through the question till then. Let me switch on the audio.
Section 2. You will hear a fitness manager of a leisure club talking to some new members. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 and 12. Now listen and answer questions 11 and 12.
On behalf of LP Clubs, I'd like to welcome you all here today. My name's Sandy Fisher, and I'm one of the fitness managers here. Before we start our tour of the club, I'll just run through some basic information about the facilities we have here, including recent improvements, and explain the types of membership available. Our greatest asset is probably our swimming pool, which at 25 metres isn't Olympic-sized, but now we've expanded it to 8 lanes, it's much wider. This means there are rarely more than a couple of people at a time in each lane. Unfortunately, there isn't space for an outdoor pool here, but the glass roof on the swimming pool is partly retractable, which means you can enjoy something of the open-air experience on warmer days. Our recently refurbished fitness suite has all the latest exercise equipment, including 10 new running machines and a wide range of weight training machines. Each member is given full training in how to operate the equipment, and there is always a trainer on duty to offer help and advice. Although we do have adult-only times after 6 and at certain times at weekends, children are well catered for. Older children continue to benefit from a wide range of tuition, anything from trampolining to yoga.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions.
All right. This was also pretty easy. Yeah. Who's going to help me with this? Choose 2 letters. So A, B, C, D, E, I'm supposed to choose 2 letters. And what are those 2 letters supposed to do? Those 2 are the facilities of the leisure club that has been recently improved. All right.
Ma'am, it's the gym and the sports training for children.
It's the gym and the sports training for children. That's whose answer?
Ma'am, Pragati.
Pragati. How about Aarti, Trinath?
Ma'am, it's
Ma'am,
A
ma'am,
and C.
indoor
Pool and gym.
and gym.
Okay, I have this also, then indoor pool and gym. How
A and
about Shraddha and Aarti Nahare?
Ma'am, A and C.
A and C, that's Aarti, right? How
Yes,
about Shraddha?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, A and C.
Yeah, okay.
Ma'am, I got A and D.
A and
D.
D. Okay, so that's another answer. Let us see now.
Before we start our tour of the club, I'll just run through some basic information about the facilities we have here, including recent improvements.
Including recent improvements. So we are mainly focusing on the recent improvement ones. All right.
And explain the types of membership available. Our greatest asset is probably our swimming pool, which at 25 metres isn't Olympic-sized, but now we've expanded it to...
Now we have expanded it. So the swimming pool has been expanded. So I have 1 point that is being improved. Expanded is improvement. So that is actually one facility that I can unstick now. Now, swimming pool, there are 2 options, outdoor pool, indoor pool. So there might be a confusion. Let us see that.
8 lanes, it's much wider. This means there are rarely more than a couple of people at a time in each lane. Unfortunately, there isn't space for an outdoor pool here.
So what was the statement? There isn't space for an outdoor pool here. So first, we got to know that the pool has been refurbished. Now we get to know that, okay, we don't have space for the outdoor pool. So what we are left with is the indoor pool. Now let us see if that's the indoor pool that they're talking about that has been improved.
But the glass roof on the swimming pool is partly retractable, which means you can enjoy some...
The glass roof on the swimming pool. So that means the pool has a shed. That means it's an indoor pool, correct? Whoever got the outdoor pool or the other option, now whoever didn't select the actually swimming pool, the indoor pool, that is option C. Are you getting my point?
Yes,
ma'am.
Yeah, they're talking about the indoor pool. They're not mentioning indoor pool, that's the paraphrasing part. They're telling swimming pool with a shade. Swimming pool, but not outdoor pool. So what am I left with? I am left with a pool that is not outdoor and with a shed that is my indoor pool. All right, let us now move on to the next part.
Something of the open-air experience on warmer days. Our recently refurbished fitness suite has all the latest exercise equipment, including 10 new running machines.
Recently refurbished. Refurbished meaning that is improved. That is whatever was the old condition, all the problems are being sorted out and the new version is being brought into the market. So that's refurbished. That means that's an improvement. And what is fitness suite? Fitness suite is nothing but that's another name for your gym. How do you, even if you're not able to understand this version of suite, that is, later on they are saying we have around 10 what machines were already told. Some track
pool is partly retractable, which means you can enjoy something of the open-air experience on warmer days. Our recently refurbished fitness suite has all the latest exercise equipment, including 10 new running machines and a wide range of weight training machines.
10 new running machines, weight training machines. So where are these used? They are used in the gym. So even if you don't get the meaning of fitness suite, or you might miss that because of the accent, you get to know that these machines are there, and where do these machines stay? They stay in the gym. So that is why the other option that I have is option A. So that's option A, and option C for me. Only 2 are being asked. I've got that, but still there are people who went for the sports training, which is mentioned there. So let us see why sport training is not my answer.
Each member is given full training in how to operate the equipment, and there is always a trainer on duty to offer help and advice. Although we do have adult-only times after 6 and at certain times at weekends, children are well catered for. Older children continue to benefit from a wide range of tuition, anything from trampolining to yoga.
So whoever selected the children option, it is like there is a mentions for the children separately. There are options for yoga and all, but then they are not saying that is not referred to as an improvement. That is not referred to as some betterment or some refurbishment. Okay, so although there is a mention, that might strike in your mind because the audio is going very fast and the last word struck you and you just chose that answer. Then even if with practice it will come, this is just the first day. My objective should be to look for that improvement, because in the question I had told you to see the question first. I should be marking facility, leisure club, improved. In the children's portion, there was no mention of improvement, betterment, refurbishment, nothing. So this option doesn't hold good. All right. This is only 2 questions we have done. We're left with another 8. Let us just quickly move. We are already about time. Let us just quickly scan over it. So that's your 13 to 20. No more than 2 words. All right, can we start the audio? Everybody ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Here's the audio.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 13 to 20.
Make the pointers, mark the words that are important in the sections.
Now listen and answer questions 13 to 20.
One thing all our members appreciate about us is that we take very good care of them. This starts on day 1 with your personal assessment. You are asked to fill in a questionnaire giving details of any health problems. One of our personal trainers will then go through this with you. The trainer will then take you through the safety rules for using the equipment in the fitness suite. During your next exercise session, a personal trainer will work with you to make sure you understand these. It's very important to do this because we really do want to avoid having any sports injuries. There's a lot more to looking after yourself than simply lifting weights. At the end of the personal assessment, the trainer will draw up a plan outlining what you should try to achieve within a 6-week period. This will then be reviewed at the end of the 6 weeks. Now, I'll just quickly run through the types of membership we have available. All members must pay a joining fee of £90 in addition to the rates for the monthly membership fees. Gold membership entitles you to free entry at all LP clubs. There are now LP clubs in all major cities and towns, so if you travel a lot, this will be a great advantage. Individual gold membership costs £50 a month, and joint membership for you and your partner will cost £75. Premium membership is for professional people whose work commitments make it difficult for them to use the club during the day, and so LP gives booking preferences to Premier members at peak times. This means you'll find it easier to book the sessions at times that suit you. Reciprocal arrangements with other LP clubs are available to Premier members. Premier membership is for individuals only, but you'll be sent passes for guests every month. The monthly fee is £65. You don't have to have any special clothes or equipment when you visit the club. We provide robes and hairdryers in the changing rooms, but it's very important to remember your photo card because you won't be able to get in without it. For people who aren't working during the day,
That is the end of section.
All right. Let's see. So, blank 13, Trinad.
Health problems.
Health. So is everybody right on this? Any other answer for this?
Ma'am, I missed it.
Missed it. Okay. Next, missed it is okay. Until unless you missed, you get the other next question wrong, it is perfectly all right if you have missed it. Okay. Next, 14.
Safety rules.
The safety rules will be explained. To you before you use the equipment. Is this right with all?
No.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Any other answer? Anyone? Pragati, did you get to this?
Yes, ma'am. Safety rule.
Okay, good. So you missed the 13th, but you kept your cool, so you got the 14th. This is what I am mentioning. Even if you're missing something, that is not a problem. 1 blank, 2 blank, perfectly all right. Do not let that hamper the next one. All right. Yes, Srinath, you were saying something, and any other answer?
No, ma'am. It's safety rules.
Okay. Everybody has written rules with the S?
Yes.
Problems with the S?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. This S is mandatory. I told you, singular, plural, this is very important. Okay. Next, 15th one, Aarti Lasure.
I misread, ma'am.
Missed it. Okay, no problem. How about Shraddha? Shraddha, are you there? Okay, I think Shraddha is not there. Yeah, she's not there. Sorry. Okay. What about who else? Pragati, did you get this? 15th?
Yes, ma'am. Periods.
6-week period.
Yes.
Any other answer for this?
Period.
Okay. Aarti Nahare period?
Yes, ma'am.
Lasure period? Oh, you missed it. Sorry. Okay. So that's period. Next is number 16. There is a compulsory £90. 16.
Joining fee.
Joining
Very
fee.
good. Is everybody writing in caps? That is, uppercase, caps, capital letters. All your answers should be in capital letters. If you're writing in small letters, as I've mentioned, there might be some problem. Okay, blank 17, quickly.
Free entry.
Free entry.
Very good. Everybody got this or anybody missed this?
Got it.
All right,
Got this one.
great. 18,
Missed, ma'am. Peak hours.
Missed,
Cars.
ma'am.
very good. Everybody peak hour.
Yes, ma'am.
19,
Guest. Guess.
everybody guess?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Aarti Lasure, no answer. Did you get this right? Get the guess?
Ma'am, I have written passes.
Passes, okay. This one was peak, Lasure?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. How about 20th one?
Photo card.
Photo card, ma'am.
Very good. Anybody, any other answer for this? 20?
Ma'am, I wrote clothes.
Clothes, okay, no problem. We'll see this. So let us get back to the audio. So
Fitness Suite has all the latest exercise equipment, range of tuition, anything from trampolining to one of our personal trainers will then go through this with you.
Now listen and answer questions 13 to 20.
One thing all our members appreciate about us is that we take very good care of them. This starts on day 1 with your personal assessment. You are asked to fill in a questionnaire giving details of any health problems. One of our personal trainers will then go through this with you. The trainer will then take you through the safety rules for using the equipment in the fitness suite. During your next exercise session, a personal trainer will work with you to make sure you understand these. It's very important to do this because we really do want to avoid having any sports injuries. There's a lot more to looking after yourself than simply lifting weights. At the end of the personal assessment, the trainer will draw up a plan outlining what you should try to achieve within a 6-week period. This will then be reviewed at the end of the 6 weeks.
So
Now,
just a second. So a 6-week period will be given, and within that period, you are supposed to do whatever is being told to you. So you'll be given a 6-week period. Period is not given to you. What is the statement here?
one of our personal trainers will then go through this with you. The trainer will then take you through the safety rules for using the equipment in the fitness suite. During your next exercise session, a personal trainer will work with you to make sure you understand these. It's very important to do this because we really do want to avoid having any sports injuries. There's a lot more to looking after yourself than simply lifting weights. At the end of the personal assessment, the trainer will draw up a plan outlining what you should try to achieve within a 6-week period.
Within a 6-week period. So period cannot be given to you. Period is a time. You cannot be provided with a period. You can be assessed over a period. It can be given a period within a 6-week period. But the sentence out here is, you will be given a 6-week dash. So you're provided something. What are you provided by the trainer?
Plan.
6-week plan.
Plan, right? So I'm not looking for this period because If it was you are you are provided a plan over a 6-week dash, then it was a period. But then it is not the time frame they're talking about. They're talking about that I am given something. So what am I given? I'm given a plan. So a 6-week plan. We do say that, right? A 30-day plan, a 30-day meal plan, right? So we say that. So that is what they are stating, a 6-week plan of the workout. All right. Any doubts on this? Anybody over the plan?
No, ma'am.
This will then be reviewed at the end of the 6 weeks. Now, I'll just quickly run through the types of membership we have available. All members must pay a joining fee of £90 in addition to the rates for the monthly membership fees. Gold membership entitles you to free entry at all LP clubs. There are now LP clubs in all major cities and towns, so if you travel a lot, this will be a great advantage. Individual gold membership costs £50 a month, and joint membership for you and your partner will cost £75. Premium membership is for professional people whose work commitments make it difficult for them to use the club during the day, and so LP gives booking preferences to Premier members at peak times. This means you'll find it easier to book the sessions at times that suit you. Reciprocal arrangements with other LP clubs are available to Premier members. Premier membership is for individuals only, but you'll be sent passes for guests every month. The monthly fee is £65.
So whoever got this passes, you're not wrong. There is mention of passes, but see the statement. Premium members can bring some dash every month. So the LP club is giving the passes to the premium member. It is not that the premium members are bringing the passes every month. No, they are getting the passes. So what are they bringing? The premium members, they are bringing some guests every month. Is this clear? Why it is not the passes? Passes mention was there, very right. But then the statement was the other way. The LP clubs provided passes every month to the premier customers. But the premier customers were not bringing the passes. What were they bringing against that? They were bringing some guests. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You don't have to have any special clothes or equipment when you visit the club. We provide robes and hairdryers in the change. Gold membership entitles you to free entry at all LP clubs. There are now LP clubs in all major cities and towns, so if you travel a lot, this will be a great advantage. Individual gold membership costs £50 a month, and joint membership for you and your partner will cost £75. Premium membership is for professional people whose work commitments make it difficult for them to use the club during the day, and so LP gives booking preferences to Premier members at peak times. This means you'll find it easier to book the sessions at times that suit you.
Yeah.
Reciprocal arrangement.
Ma'am, ma'am, as it is said in the audio that it becomes difficult for the members to attend the club in the daytime. So instead of peak, can we write night hours?
No, you could have written, but see the mention of the
within a
statement.
6-week period. This will then be all major cities and towns, so if you travel a lot, this will be a great advantage. Individual gold membership costs £50 a month, and joint membership for you and your partner will cost £75. Premier membership is for professional people whose work commitments make it difficult for them to use the club during the day, and so LP gives booking preferences to Premier members at peak time.
Do you get this? If this mention, like what is the sentence here? premium members are given priority, that is preference. So it is not that when they can use it. The mention of the daytime was that they couldn't avail the LP club during the daytime. So you can say that they then availed it other than the day, that is at the evening or night or, you know, after any other time. But then they're not talking about when they're availing the LP club. Then that thing would have come, the night or evening, whatever it is. Then I could have paraphrased that. But what is the mention in the sentence? It is the premier members are given priority. Priority means preference. So if you are actually paraphrasing that statement of the preference, then the night and day doesn't come into play. What comes into play is the that we card thing. Let us see here that little back once more.
All major cities and towns. So if you travel a lot, this will be a great advantage. Individual gold membership costs £50 a month, and joint membership for you and your partner will cost £75. Premier membership is for professional people whose work commitments make it difficult for them to use the club during the day. And so LP gives booking preferences to Premier members at peak times.
Did you get this, Aarti? This is the preference they're talking
Yes, ma'am.
about. They're not talking about the availing. If it was, the sentence was about availing, I could have, you know, what you told, I could have worked with that night or evening. I could have paraphrased that. But then out here, they're talking about preference, and their preference sentence is also there in terms of priority. That's just a change of word. So in case of priority, I would give it for the peak hours. Clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Got it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
This means you'll find it easier to book the sessions at times that suit you. Reciprocal arrangements with other LP clubs are available to Premier members. Premier membership is for individuals only, but you'll be sent passes for guests every month. The monthly fee is £65. You don't have to have any special clothes or equipment when you visit the club.
You don't have to have any special clothes. Whoever had written the clothes thing, there's a mention of clothes, but they're saying you don't have to bring any special clothes or something. So they are saying you do not have to bring this, but the sentence say you must bring something. You should always take there something. What is that something? It should be the answer. Okay, because the clothes and all is something they're saying you don't have to bring.
This means you'll find it easier to book the sessions at times that suit you. Reciprocal arrangements with other LP clubs are available to Premier members. Premier membership is for individuals only, but you'll be sent passes for guests every month. The monthly fee is £65. You don't have to have any special clothes or equipment when you visit the club. We provide robes and hairdryers in the changing rooms, but it's very important to remember your photo card because...
Is this clear? Whoever wrote clothes and other things, that is a mention of the clothes is there, but then that the mention is because you are not supposed to bring it. Rather, what you're supposed to bring is the photo ID card. Is this clear to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'll not stretch it further. We are already beyond time because this part we were going through. That is why I just continued this. I won't keep you waiting. I'll post few of them as assignment. But before that, I would quickly go over. So I just want you to quickly tell me, what are the takeaways of the session? What did you understand? What are the things that you're going to take away? This is very important. After every session, you should be knowing these are the pointers that I learned. These are the important tricks I learned from here. And that is what you're going to jot down in today's notebook, that these are the pointers that I missed. I had jotted down. This is the thing that I shouldn't be doing again. So making mistake is not a problem. Repeating a mistake is a problem with me. So any takeaways? Anybody? Very quickly,
Yes,
if
ma'am.
we can. Yeah.
Should not include paraphrasing.
Should not include paraphrasing. Not really. You should include paraphrasing, but only when your question and the options are not balancing each other. If this balance is there, I don't need to paraphrase. I only need to paraphrase if and only if I don't find that balance. Like see in the thing, the preference and the priority, that was a balance, because I know that is paraphrasing only, I'm getting the balance. Without paraphrasing, I wouldn't get the balance. So I would only paraphrase if I see that the question and option is not in balance. If the question and answer is in balance, here is also preference, the answer is also having preference, then why paraphrase? I already have a direct answer. I'm not going to paraphrase there. So theme is there, theme is here, I go with theme. I'll not change it to amusement. I will only change it if I see that there is Disney's park or something which I'm not, I only have to answer in one word. So I paraphrase it to amusement. Clear? So paraphrasing is required only and only when your answer and the questions are not having a balance. Okay. Next, any other takeaway?
Ma'am, when you have given the time to look at the questions, just underline the keywords.
Very good. So underlining keyword.
Yes.
In the question during the introductions or the instruction session, introduction or instruction time limit. All right, so this is the second takeaway. Anything else?
Ma'am, we should listen carefully.
Very good. Concentrate. And even if you miss if you miss any one blank, do not get nervous. Move on to the next one. It is okay to miss one or two blank. If you miss a blank, don't panic. Move on to the next question. Okay, so, okay, very good. And anything else?
Ma'am, 0 can be pronounced as O or not.
Very good. So the numbers, number pronunciation. Number pronunciation, that is 0, then 13, 30. So this T and teen thing. So these pronunciations are very important to keep in mind. All right, so these are the takeaways, which is very, very important. I don't know if am I missing any other takeaways that should have been included?
Ma'am, while taking the notes, we should use
Very
abbreviations, and while making it fair, we have to make it in the uppercase.
Very good. Note taking in abbreviations. Very good. And again, note taking once you're transferring to the while transferring answers in block letters. Do not move in for the lowercase, because that is going to bring confusion, because the names and etc. you should be give a capital letter for the first letter. So then during the exam it becomes confusing. You might miss it sometimes. So getting all blocks is much better. Perfect. So that was all the takeaways into one of the session today. So what we'll do is that we'll meet tomorrow again with another session. I will try today, maybe by today night, I'll post in 1 or 2 assignments. Actually, the audio files are pretty big, so I have to, compress them and then forward to you. So I'll do that. If not by tonight, I'll do that by tomorrow morning positively, and I'll ping you on the WhatsApp group. Okay, because of the compressing the audio files, it might take some time. If by tonight I can do, I'll post it in your group. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, class. Thank you. You may leave the session. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.